Hi, I'm Karma Spence of karmaspence.com, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I am making myself feel better through makeup application. As you may have known from previous videos or reading my blog, I was in a car accident in February. I was walking across the street and a car hit me. And the result has been a few scars to my face, and that really took a hit. I really took a hit on how I felt about myself. And so part of my own Own Your Awesome work, and because of the love of my fiance, I've started doing things that help me feel pretty and help me get back to owning my awesome. Well, in that line, I ended up getting some sample makeup brushes. And I will put a link below showing you where you can get your copy. I use them to apply this makeup, and the rest of this video is going to be showing you how I apply my makeup to camouflage my scars and make my lips feel better and just make me feel prettier. But anyway, I think you'll love these makeup brushes if you decide to buy them. If you don't, that's fine too, but I really enjoyed the experience of these brushes. They are soft, so they feel good against the skin, and they are firm, and they come in this really cool case. So you don't even need to have a makeup case, and it has a lid so you can travel with them. And what's really nice, the package also comes with this handy little makeup mirror that comes with, you know, the big one and the little one. It's kind of nice. And that's all from this company, Beauty Ally Makeup Brushes. I hope you enjoy this video. So now I've cleaned my face. This is a completely clean, unmade up face. And I'm going to show you what I do pretty much every morning to protect my scar and to cover it up. So the first step I do is wash my face. You don't need to see that, so I'm not doing that on video. The next step is I put some sunscreen and some moisture on. Now I use Mary Kay because I like it. Alright, sunscreen is everywhere, and now I put on a basic moisturizer. I happen to be using Mary Kay's Time Wise. And if you're using Mary Kay, you use just a tiny, tiny bit. Now again, I'm going to be using a little bit more than I would if I didn't have a scar I needed to protect, because I'm going to put on several layers of sunscreen, because I want to make sure that my scar is protected. So what I do next is I apply a tinted moisturizer and sunscreen. I happen to have found this one, BB Fresh. And here's where the brushes I got come into play. This is the makeup brush that's specifically for applying liquid makeup. So the first liquid makeup I use is this. And what I do is, and I learned this from the I learned a lot of these tips from the makeup professionals. I did a bunch of trial runs for my wedding makeup, and I learned some of these tricks. It was really pretty cool. So one is putting the foundation on your hand because it warms it up. And so I apply it. This is just a basic, and I also use it to lighten up the corners of my eyes. And it's a little different doing this on video because again, the video is backwards to the mirror and the lighting is different, so it's kind of backwards for me. But that's how I use the BB cream. It's just to highlight the areas that need to be lighter. And I have a tiny scar right here that I also cover. So that's the BB cream. Now here's where I start getting my own little artistic. I use two different foundations. I use one that is a little bit lighter than my skin, and then one that's a little bit darker as a contour. I don't know if anyone else does this. I've figured this out on my own. So here's how I do it. Again, I'm using Mary Kay because I have lots of it because I used to be a Mary Kay rep. Tanked at that, but that's okay. Again, with the makeup brush. And doing all this foundation does is it kind of protects my scar from the sun. which is, if your scar is pretty new like mine is, because I just got it in February, you really want to protect it from the sun. And I wear a hat and everything, because once a scar gets a tan, it's a permanent tan. And so you do not want your scar to tan. You want to wait until it's like so enmeshed in your skin, which takes a couple of years. So you need to protect it. Here's where I do something a little wonky. I use a darker foundation, again it's Mary Kay, as a contour. So again, I put it on a little bit on my hand. It's really weird because this hand happens to be a little numb, so I don't feel it. It's very strange. And I use this to contour. Okay, again, I'm not doing this as well as I would if I was looking in the mirror, but oh well, maybe I should get a mirror. Which, by the way, one comes with it, so see? Yeah, that's better. And then you want to kind of like blend so it doesn't look like you're doing it. But what I found is, I found that I don't like the normal contour that professional makeup artists do, where they use a really dark blush. And it just looks like this big old blotch of darkness on my cheek, and I don't like it. So I thought, well, but I do need a little contouring, because, you know, it looks better when you do. So this is, and I'd heard that some people do this with bronzer, so I thought, well, what if I use this darker foundation I have? So that's how I started doing this. And boy, it's hot today, so I'm kind of sweating here. And then I try to use it up. So the places where I want to be a little bit darker, get the darker one. And so this foundation brush is really just for the main application. What's cool about this brush set is it also comes with, what are they calling it? They're calling it a flat foundation brush. And it's used to really blend. So you just use to blend, baby, blend. Because you don't want to look like you're wearing foundation. I mean, I know some people do, and that's their thing, but I don't like to look like I'm wearing foundation. I want it to look like I've got natural skin, but I want to be protected from the sun, because I don't like my face tanning. I'm weird that way. So there's those two brushes. Now the next thing I do is I bring in the concealer. Now I also learned from the lady that I actually hired to do my wedding makeup. She told me to look for a peach concealer because this scar is purple, and the peach counteracts that. And it's amazing. I mean, see what it looks like now. That's just a little bit of foundation. I'm using, what is this from? Dream something. From Maybelline. It's Maybelline. There you go. Okay. And I apply this directly to the scar. And sometimes, if it's getting really dark in my eyes, I'll put some there too. And then, here's where I don't use it. I like using a sponge to kind of blend the concealer. And I just kind of like, really just dab. See, it's already kind of disappearing. And again, I'm sweating, but oh well. It is what it is. It's a hot summer day in July in Los Angeles. Okay, so that is basic foundation. And now I want it to set. So right now I'm using my Mary Kay powder. But once this is used up, which will probably be years from now, given how long it takes, I'll probably be using a translucent powder because I really don't need the powder for color. And they have a powder brush too, which I believe is this one. I believe this is the powder brush. And this is how I do powder. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do powder, but this is how I do powder. I get a little bit of powder from here. And then so I'm not powdering my face, I dab it here, and then and what this does is it sets the foundation so that it lasts a little bit longer, and it also makes it a little bit more matte. I'm not going to be achieving the matte effect I want as well today just because I am so sweaty, but it is what it is. And again, so I've just brushed off some of that concealer, so I'm probably going to put a little bit more. And I often put like 2 to 3 layers of concealer. Partly because it protects, but partly because it just does a better job of concealing it. Now this also has a concealer brush. Let's see, it's this one. And I'm going to use that to kind of blend it a little bit better. Oops, sorry. The key to makeup looking really natural is all the blending. The blending and the buffing and the blending and the buffing, because you want to put color and then you blend it so it almost looks like it's not there, and then you put another layer and you blend it, and that's what I learned. So that right there, that is my basic foundation. There was a book I read a few years back called Cindy Crawford's Basic Face, and basically what she teaches in that book is you put on your foundation and a little mascara and you're done for the day, and that's often what I do. Here's my trick for mascara. My eyes really only need a little extra on the sides to kind of widen it, so I don't put mascara everywhere. I only put it on the sides. And there you have it. That's my basic face. That's what I kind of go pretty much every day with. It protects my skin from the sun, and it hides the cut scar, and it just makes me feel like I'm presentable. Now, I want to show you a little bit more because I am demonstrating these brushes, and I want to show you what each of them do. I mean, I was experiencing them for the first time as I was just showing you, and they are really nice. They're very soft but firm. I like them. So let's go through the rest of the brushes they've got here. So far, I've shown you the makeup brush, which I will now need to clean. The flat foundation brush, which is meant for buffing the liquid foundation. The concealer brush, which, depending on what kind of concealer, I don't really need one with the concealer I use, but some concealers, you can put it on your hand and use this to brush it in. And also, you notice I used it to help blend in. And then there's the powder brush, which is for applying the powder on your face. Next, we have a blush and bronzer brush, which is this. And like I said, some people use bronzers to contour. I don't use a bronzer, but I do use a blush. Right now, because it's convenient, I'm using my little Mary Kay, get in there, Mary Kay blush. It's a blush with eyeshadow. And I can show you what I do with that too. It's a really new little trick that I learned. I only like applying blush to the apples pretty much of my cheeks, because that's where I naturally blush. And in my philosophy, you really only want to put blush pretty much where you naturally brush, and then maybe a little bit here for contour. Ta-da! I'm done with, there's another basic layer. And that's all the blush I really do. If I'm doing a video, I might put it on a little heavier, but for every day, this is good enough. The next brush in this wonderful little toolkit is the shimmer brush. And this is, it says, lightly sweep the brush over your cheeks and then move on to your chin and nose areas. It will give your skin a glow. Well, let's see. So, I guess you kind of go like this. Here's the brush. I'm not sure what that does, but, you know, I might use it to blend. That's probably what feels really good, though. It's kind of like giving yourself a face massage. It's very nice. Next, we have the eyeshadow brush. That's this one. It's got a little bit of an angle. And this is how I do eyeshadow. I start with my base color, which is the darkest one. You want to work from darkest to lightest, otherwise it makes it hard to blend. I, right now, am using this LA Colors eyeshadow. I got it at the dollar store. I get my makeup at the dollar store often just because I'm kind of experimenting with makeup, because I don't normally wear a lot of makeup, but because of my accident, I've been really needing to feel pretty. And so now I'm starting to experiment. Once I kind of get a feel for what my colors are, then I'll probably buy a nicer eyeshadow. So anyway, I've got this nice little palette here, and I'm going to use this purple one. I use it all along the base here and a little on the sides. And again, you're blending, blending, blending. So see, that's how it looks now, like second eye. You know, I've never put on mascara before, eyeshadow before. I think it's a good idea. I'm now seeing, as I'm doing this video, I'm seeing it's a good idea because I just got mascara on my eyelid just by blinking. And now I can use the eyeshadow to blend it all up away. Now, depending on your eyes, you may do things differently. But what I like to do is, then I go with a medium color, and I use it kind of in the crease and to the side. I use the darker colors to the side because it opens up my eyes. I don't want the darker colors too much near the inside because I already have dark eyes there. And again, this kind of opens up my eyes and makes it a little bit wider. Then, and I think I use a different brush for this, hold on. Eyeshadow blur brush, yep. That's this one right here. That's the one I use to create the highlight. And that's where I use like a light, I'm using this light pink color right here. And that's where I put it on the top of my eye, and I also blend it into everything else. And the light color, again, opens up my eyes and takes other people's eyes away from the darker circles in the inside. Now you'll see I tend to have a light touch with makeup. I prefer it that way. Some people like a darker touch. Whatever floats your boat, yes? Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with basic makeup, although now I also do a neat little trick, and that's where I use the eyebrow brush. And that's this one right here. There you go, eyebrow brush. An eyebrow pencil is almost a little too intense for me. So what I learned from the makeup artist who is doing my makeup for my wedding, Kat Lansky, she's awesome. I will put a link to her. She taught me a lot of things, and she's going to do awesome makeup for my wedding. I know she is. Anyway, I use this sort of dark brown eyeshadow, and I lightly color my eyebrows, especially on the side where it's getting a little bit thinner. And you can't, I have very blonde eyebrows, so sometimes you just can't see them. But if you put a little bit of blush on it, look, see the difference? There's the one where I did it. Looks like I have an eyebrow compared to the one I didn't do. Looks a lot different, doesn't it? So let's do the other one so I'm not lopsided. And you see I'm very light with it. And I use this particular color because I've dyed my hair auburn, and my blonde eyebrows just, it looks incongruent, so I'm using a reddish brown eyeshadow to do my eyebrows. Ta-da! Spiffy, eh? Alright, final brush is the lip one. Now, I'm not really big on lipstick, so I usually don't wear a lot of it, but what's nice about this thing is, you know, you can really have more control. Now, something that happened with the accident is, as you can tell, I'm missing a couple of teeth, and because of that, my lip, that and the scar that was caused by the two teeth forcefully ejecting out of my mouth and through my lip, I have a little bit of a scar there, so that side of my lip is not the right shape anymore. So this is what I do to kind of make them look a little bit more normal. Alright, the first thing I do is I hydrate my lips. So I use a lip balm. I just happen to be using the lip balm I got at the hospital, the rehab hospital. They have those extras, why not? It's free. Well, I was probably paying for it, but you know what I mean. So that hydrates the lips. But you can't apply makeup on moist lips. So what I use is this handy product I got from Mary Kay. This one right here. I love it. It's called Triple Action Lip Enhancer. And you could just use it on your lips in general. In fact, I hear that men like it because it's not as greasy as a lip balm, but it does hydrate your lips. But it also gives your lips a nice matte feel so that you can apply lipstick. And then you let it dry a little bit. While I'm letting that dry, I'm going to show you what I do with eyeliner. I forgot to do that earlier. But I just go as close as I can to the eyelash line. You can't even see it when you're doing this. Then when you open up the eyes, there it is. See the difference? There's the one I did. There's the one I didn't. Did. Didn't. Alright. Now my lips should be dry enough. So now this is a tip I learned while I was a Mary Kay rep, and that is you use a lip liner not really as a liner. You use it as a sort of base for your lipstick. So you actually start off lining the lips. And this is where you give your lips some shape. So you follow contour, but on this side, because it's a little off, I go a little bit beyond to make it even with the other one. And then you color it in. Now with the bottom, I have 2 layers of color. I always go with the inside one, because otherwise it looks too full. And then you color it in. Now what doing this does, number one, it gives your lips a little color. You could probably just put a lip gloss over it and you'd be fine. You wouldn't even need lipstick. But it also can give your lipstick a base on which to hold. So it's like another layer on top of the Triple Action Lip Enhancer that helps hold your lipstick longer. It's much easier to give your lips shape with a lip liner than it is with lipstick, and it helps your lipstick last longer. So now you apply the lipstick, and I am going to try on some Plum. As you can tell, I've used it for a while. Again, I don't put very much on because I don't really need to, and I don't like a heavy hand. But there you go. There is my basic makeup, and all I do next is I do my hair and we're good. So there you have it, the full look.